Hello and welcome to episode 14 of our tutorials. Sorry, it's been a couple weeks. Got a new computer, had to get it all set up. Kids doing things. It's life's a little crazy. So doing my best to get to things. Got a small startup one this time for the mobs. Just trying to get them added to the pipeline and moving forward. As you can see for our tutorials, for our to-do list, we have mob part 1 set up. We're going to create the mob classes. Sorry about that. We're going to generate mobs per level. We're going to add them to the update pipeline and add them to the draw pipeline, and then we're going to test it. Shouldn't take too long today, but yeah. If you like what I've been doing, try to make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share, comment. Comments are huge. I mean, huge. Especially if you have something you'd like to see me do. Definitely comment about it, and I'll do what I can to get to it and start to put it in the pipeline for what we're doing. All right. So first off, let's get our classes created. Content source. Nothing's open for me because, like I said, new computer over here. First time I've opened this project. All right. So first we're gonna add new folder mobs. And inside mobs, we are going to create, oops, not move, I wanted to copy. No. Dang it. All right, copy, paste, rename, imp, I usually say no here, and I just like to go do it myself, so it's always the right one. A lot of times it'll change out both instances, and I'm not a fan of tracking that down. And then the other thing we need to do is copy hero, paste, rename, mob. And then same thing in here, mob. Now it's really easy to get these done because we already did hero and everything. One other thing we're going to do in preparation for future changes is we're going to change unit to a scene item. Could have done this later, but it's something that I was noticing that I wanted at times. And to do that, we have to change the color out for a scale. So it just assumes white. For a unit item, but it doesn't assume scale. So right now we're going to just put in a basic 1-1, keep everything the same, just a placeholder. But that'll get us set up to do level draw manager conversions later, which we'll do probably within the next couple episodes. Okay, we want to now go over to imp. That's fine. Let's go to mob. We need to kind of clear it out because we don't need this kind of stuff. This is all movement hero based stuff, so we can just get rid of it all. And then its turn is going to be on packet turn 1. That should do the trick for this. Basically, we're just emptying it out for right now. And then imp, the one thing we need to do is put in our new file. So 2D units, next to units is mobs, or next to heroes is mobs, and then inside mobs is our imp. Now this is the imp from our previous tutorial set. I will provide it here also. If I don't, remind me and I'll get it in there. But it's the same as the one from our previous tutorial set. So if you download the most recent code output for that, you'll have it there. Down to Android, content, 2D, units, mobs. Same thing, add imp. Instead of content, it's an Android asset, and copy if newer. All right, happy days. We have our imp. Okay, Now, for level, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new setup for this. So at the bottom, I mean, you can put it wherever you feel like you really want to, but I want to know everything about this map before I start placing my mobs. Now, that's just a preference for me. And the way we're going to go about doing that is we're going to say, well, what's our list of possible mobs? So this is the only thing that's a little bit different here. And then this is possible mobs. There's new string. And then here we're going to say possible mobs dot add. And then here we're going to say imp. Now, you can add to this list if you want more mobs, and then you can create a weighted list. You can do all kinds of stuff here. So like a weighted list would be like a mob is 90% chance and you know, a wraith is 10% chance or whatever. That's a weighted list. This is going to be an unweighted list for right now because I don't think I've gone over weighted lists before. They're actually a little bit more complicated than you might think, but they're also easy enough you could probably put them together in a weekend, get them working really nicely. Mobs stop count. Oops. So we're gonna use a while loop, right? And we don't have our mobs list yet, so let's go up and do that. Public list mob is not showing up. Well, we know we did it. Let's see. It's a capital. Okay, and then you know what we also forgot to do? Because I'm a dork and forgets things. Imp is not a hero, it's a mob. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing. There we go. Happy days. It was new mobs. New list mob. Basically, your IntelliSense is usually smarter than you are when it comes to the highlighting. So, not always. There are bugs in it, but if you notice something weird, then you probably mess something up. Okay, so that's a declaration. That's fine. Now we need to reset that every time we create a new level because we don't want old mobs coming forward into new levels. Mobs equals new. Just new list. So that'll clear the list. You can also just do that clear. This is going to be slightly more accurate for what we're trying to do. We want the list just to be completely thrown to the garbage collector there. So that's what we did there. Okay, so in here we're going to say mobs count. Oh, I forgot. We missed a couple things. Int total mobs. This is the mobs the number of mobs you want to generate. Right now I'm just going to leave it at 10. You can random it. You can do whatever you want for your stuff. And then the number of attempts is going to be count 0 here. We're actually going to use that as a fail-safe breakout because I haven't done the math to decide whether I always have no space for my mobs. So if I don't, then it will try for a little while and then let it through without infinite looping and killing it here. All right, so while mob count is less than total mobs, it's weird that it didn't highlight there. Okay, that's fine. We are going to do our test loc thing here. Let's grab it, put it in there. The other thing that we want to check, well, so once we have our test loc, then what we're going to check is we're going to say, is that slot filled, right? So what are our filled slots? Well, that's all of our grid obstacles. So all of our grid obstacles are being tested here. So I don't think we have this function yet for some reason. Dot check, we don't. Okay, let's go to our grid, square grid. There it is. We're going to create it. So check public virtual bool check if loc filled. And that's going to take in a location, factor 2, I don't know how I got this far without having this for you guys. I apologize. This is kind of like one of the most important pieces when you're actually doing things with your game that you can have. So it's very simple. Return get slot from location, and then filled, and then we put loc in here. Okay, it's super simple, but we want to just be able to ask it, right? I guess we could just do this, but this is kind of, you want to package things up so that they're one-liners without a million different things if you can help it. Anyway, here we are. So we're gonna check if filled, and then the location is testloc. Okay, super simple. So if it's not filled, we can come in here. Another thing that we need to do is before we get started, so when you write a while loop, you need to probably do this early on before you forget. You're going to add to the count here. Well, we are. I mean, you can do what you want to protect yourself against an infinite while loop, but this is what I'm going to do. So while count is not while, if count goes greater than total mobs times 10. So on average, there's 10 collisions allowed per mob before it just says, all right, that's it. We're out of here. We're out of this while loop. I don't care if we only place 2 mobs. We're out. In fact, it technically could produce no mobs, but this is a good start, and I don't like the possibilities of infinite loops. So anyway, long story short, this little piece of code will fix that for you. Okay, inside here, we now need to know if there's any collisions. So no collisions equals false. We already declared no collisions up top. There it is. We're just going to reuse it. We're going to set it to false. Or no, true. True. There currently are no collisions. Good. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to test for start and end locations. That's these ones here. So let's bring those down. No reason to rewrite them. These, now we've used them a couple times, you can make a function out of these things. It wouldn't be the end of the world, right? That would be, and actually it would be good programming. So consider that as well. If no collisions, then we want to do our type creation. Now we did that in our character screen for hero. Let's grab that. Here it is, and we'll convert it out for mobs. I think my mouse had gotten messed up. Happy now though. Okay, so in here we need to change this out to instead of putting info in, we need our possible mob. So here we're going to say possible mobs, and then we have to figure out which subscript that we want. It's an unweighted list, so it's completely random. Rand.next, and within a list you just use the actual count as your limiter. So possible mobs count, and then here we want to start at 0. Okay, that will get us the proper, well, a proper mob. If you add more mobs in here, it will deal with them there. So that's good. All right, here we want to say instead of an individual hero, we're going to get mobs.add, right? We're going to add it to a list. Mobs.add. Finisher. Pren. And then this is going to be a mob. And then I think we're probably good. Let's double check. Imp just wants a position. And we're just giving it a position. So we're happy there. So mobs get added. Good deal. Now we have to add them quickly to the pipelines. I put it right here for now. This may move later, but this is where I'm putting it for now. We'll see what it needs to do later. Int I equals 0, I less than mobs count I mobs I dot update, and update takes the same thing as hero does. Boom, and then we're going to take a copy of this. We're going to move it down here, and this is where we end up with a possibility of needing draw offset eventually. Not right now, but eventually. Not draw offset. Of our level draw manager. Oops. Technically, hero always draws before mob, so if there was a mob that was bigger than a individual grid slot, because you made it have some perspective or whatever, well, hero always draws over the mob. Even if the mob's head should be over the hero's feet, it wouldn't work. So it's time to consider doing our converting everything to our level draw manager. I'll decide on that later, but I just wanted to point it out. Okay, let's run this Mama Jamma. I apologize, it's small now. I have a 4K screen. It's going to downscale it. I'll figure out that later. It did not add mobs. Let's see. Ten mobs, draw, count. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't set imp. Right here. They just look like like circles or whatever. But there were circles in the top left corner, so I'm wondering if I bet you I didn't do the imp positioning part. Yeah, I just left it at 0, 0 also. That's a problem as well. So here we don't want this. What we want is the slot on the grid's position. So at least I think that's what we want. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay, here's what we want to set look. That's what we do with hero. So mobs count -1, so that's our most recent one. Dot set loc, that's what we want, and then we want to set loc to level unit test packet, and then test loc. Level unit test packet, if I remember right, yep, was inside here, so we need to take that out of there, and now it'll be used here and here. Sorry, forgot that step. Let's try it again. That's why we test things. It's not like unit mob. It's not. It is. It's mobs. Third time's a charm, right? There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mobs. Okay, very good. All right, we'll deal with more with mobs, like attacking them and stuff, coming up in the next few episodes. Getting them to have a simple AI and stuff like that. We will get through that. Getting the turns to go back and forth. All of the stuff that we need to do to make this game start to really be interesting. That's coming up in the next little bit. So if you're enjoying this, please again. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, share it with your friends. I'm not asking much, but it would really help if you guys would go that route for me. But past that, I will see you guys next time, and we'll get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of everything. Have a good one.